In March, I quit my programming job in LA to do full-time art in Perth. However, without the art community of LA, progress has been going much slower and is definitely more difficult. I don't have any fixes for this in the video, but if you're in a similar situation, I hope I can provide a little bit of empathy because it really does suck. Feeling alone in whatever endeavor you do is not only mentally stressing, but is also taxing on progress. When you're by yourself trying to figure out art, it's like you only get one brain working on the problem. Whereas in a community, there are multiple brains, some of which have already figured out the problem. Kinda like a single core CPU versus a multi-18 core CPU. Okay, that was a little nerdy, sorry. When sprinting solo, if there's a really strong goal, things can be great. Eyes on the prize, tunnel vision activated, and you get closer and closer towards something you know you want. However, when the goal gets murky, when there's too many options, when you juggle living expenses versus living city versus is this even the right career, it's so easy to be caught up in thinking about problems rather than solving problems. However, with a community, there's so much knowledge floating around that picking paths becomes more automatic. When you have 20 case studies standing literally right in front of you, you can start to dissect and reassemble other pathways to make your own. You get to share the knowledge you've learned with friends around you, and sometimes you get unexpected answers to questions you thought you'd never even ask. When I see some people paint, it literally looks like they're not painting what's there, they're just trying to represent it. I guess the idea is similar to figure drawing, where some people indicate not what they see, but what they know. And whether or not this is a good or bad way of doing art is not the question. The more important matter here is that this is how someone has chosen the way they want to do art at that particular point in time, and me, being there, gets to witness this as an extra data point for future reference. Do I like this type of art? Yes. Well, then why don't I try it? Thinking like this makes me excited. There's a new skill on the horizon and I'm off to chase it. The community gets me amped to go painting again. However, now that I'm solo and living in a city so isolated we don't even get corona because nobody wants to visit, my plein air routine is dying out. The lack of community has equaled a lack of painting. The very first time I came back from LA to Perth to go painting, I experienced some casual Asian racism, and it sucks and discourages me from painting outside. In fact, without a consistent group in this city that I can paint with, I've almost abandoned this thing that I've loved so dearly. Learning solo is dry and tedious. Just because I have James Gurney's color and light doesn't mean it's likely I could master color and light by myself. Here is a book called Concise Australian Commercial Law. Even if I wanted to understand commercial law, the desire I'd have to fuel my hard work to learn this book would last maybe a week. However, I used this book in university. There were people around me and a structure and pathway to learn Australian commercial law. Despite the dry subject, I understand the gist of this book. Everyone in my classes did, and I want to highlight this to show how powerful community is. If a bunch of people can learn Australian commercial law, a bunch of people can also learn to competently paint with color and light. And I definitely want to be in that latter party. I don't have a solution for community in this city, it sucks, but I made this decision and career path for a reason. I intentionally signed up for learning art in the middle of nowhere. I knew it'd be difficult from the start. It's literally an artist career. I know there's a lot of you without community. That's why I made this video. As much as it's for myself, it's also for you. I believe I'm gonna make it, and I know you're gonna make it too. I hope you have a lovely day or night wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching. Peace, guys.